Minnesota's North Woods and Boundary Waters are breathtaking, serene, and remote. A rare place where you can really get back to nature. But that isolation can be detrimental if something goes wrong, which is where DNR helicopter pilot Grace Zeller comes in. Her skills were put to the test a few months ago when Zeller was tasked with saving two canoeists badly hurt after their canoe went over a waterfall. Jennifer Hoff spoke to Zeller about that miraculous recovery. Hi.
Boy, it was, that's for sure. The mission, not easy. Imagine balancing a 2,000-pound machine on some rocks, completely surrounded by trees, and doing it all in the dark, too. Not only did she help save those canoeists, she was recently honored for her hard work.
Grace Zeller, on behalf of Colonel Rodman Smith, with this life-saving award.
The story of Grace Zeller may have a happy ending, but no one knew that when it first started.
I need my husband to come home.
An emotional plea from a wife frantic to find her husband missing in the Boundary Waters, a trip Reese Grams took every year to go fishing. Except he and a friend went over Curtain Falls in their canoe and two others got in trouble trying to help. Stranded in the remote area near the Canadian border.
Yeah, it's a dire situation.
Until Zeller answered the call.
My job is to fly the aircraft. Everything that happens as a result of that is a benefit.
A Department of Natural Resources pilot, Zeller had been flying helicopters for a decade.
What makes you a good pilot?
Some people, especially, with the Top Gun movies, it's all about how well you can pilot, but really we're all quite similar in that regard. It's really the ground knowledge.
From knowing the aircraft to one's own weaknesses and how to pivot, especially when a call comes in as unique as that one back in May. It was her day off, a Saturday, when she flew from Brainerd to Ely and then another 15 minutes to the scene that by boat would have taken hours.
What would you say was the most challenging part of the rescue?
I'd say that landing remotely in the dark was definitely the most challenging.
Surrounded by trees, the rotors had to clear, and rocks, her only option if the water level was low enough to guide the 2,000-pound machine on top of.
You don't necessarily need to bring the helicopter all the way out of flight mode, you can think of it, so you're kind of still hovering, but you're balanced on something. That was a moment that I had to take real slow, real careful.
Zeller making the trip twice, rescuing two men without knowing where the others were.
I mean, I can't imagine even leaving people still missing. That I knew that was going to be really hard for the guys.
That, though, is this story's hardest chapter, when officials finally found Grams and his friend's body several weeks later. But even amid the tragedy, the reason to celebrate is Zeller saved Grams' own brother.
We're very fortunate, for the rescue effort, from everyone involved, and especially Grace.
That little rock was a little bit more turbulent.
Yeah.
The meeting and life-saving award that followed is a conclusion to this tale.
There we go. You're welcome.
No one here will soon forget.
And that kind of just brought it home to me.
She's something else. And there's this too. Zeller will be at an event on Saturday, so this weekend, called Girls in Aviation, designed to introduce young women to aviation. It's at Eden Prairie's Flying Cloud Airport and includes hands-on activities. There's different aircrafts there and exhibits, and best of all of it is free. And I can guarantee you that if your girls go to that or anyone goes to it, they will have a chance to meet and chat with some of those pilots who are, I call, quite badass.
Yeah.
They are something else.
Badass and a true hero. I mean, the courage it takes to go in those situations and keep your calm. That's incredible.
Yeah, she's really something else. And I think it's important to note, too, that they certainly acknowledge the tragedy and the sadness for those families, but they were all there, to acknowledge, too, that work that she put in to try to save at least some of them.
Yeah, incredible.
Yeah.
Thanks a lot.